The house felt staged, not messy, not chaotic, just like a room after a meeting you weren't invited to. 16 is supposed to feel like an announcement, a shift. Instead, the only thing waiting for me on the kitchen counter was a folded paper towel with my name written in my sister's rushed handwriting. I already knew what it would say before I opened it. I had learned to predict tone from pressure marks. Stay out of sight, freak. No signature. They didn't need one. Dad was throwing a party at the lake house. My siblings had posted photos all week about family only. I'd asked once if I should pack anything. My brother laughed. It's just easier if you stay home. Easier. I stood in the kitchen for a long time after reading the note. Not because I was shocked, because I wasn't. That's what hurt. There's something humiliating about not even being surprised by your own exclusion. I didn't smash anything, didn't call anyone. I sat on the floor with my back against the cabinets and let the crying happen quietly, the way I'd learned to do it over the years, efficiently, without witnesses. I used to think if I behaved better, spoke softer, achieved more, I'd eventually become easier to include. But every birthday, every holiday, every family decision proved something consistent. I was tolerated when invisible. The doorbell rang just after 7. I almost didn't answer it. No one ever came for me. When I opened the door, my godmother stood there, coat still on, expression steady, a leather folder tucked under her arm. She didn't look surprised to see my red eyes. "May I come in?" she asked. Not what happened, not are you okay, just forward motion. We sat at the dining table. She placed the folder between us and opened it with the same calm precision she used at board meetings. "Your father signed guardianship transfer papers this afternoon," she said. I stared at her. Waiting for the rest, the twist, the cruelty, he signed me away. Her jaw tightened slightly. "Relinquish custodial responsibility." The words sounded clinical, almost merciful. "There are conditions," she continued. "You'll be staying with me immediately. I've already arranged schooling adjustments." "Why?" I asked. She paused. And for the first time, something like restrained anger flickered in her eyes. Because I insisted. Silence settled differently this time. She slid another document toward me. "As of today, the majority shares of his company have been transferred to a trust in your name. I am the acting trustee until you're 18. I blinked. "What?" "Has been restructuring for months," she said evenly. "Assumed you wouldn't understand the documents. He assumed no one would challenge him." "And you did?" "Yes, the lake house was less than 40 minutes away. We didn't go there to cause a scene. We went because legal notification requires acknowledgement. When we arrived, music was still playing. Laughter spilled out across the deck. I could see my siblings through the windows posing for photos. Dad opened the door. The smile he wore, broad public, curated, faltered when he saw my godmother. "This isn't a good time," he began. "It is precisely the right time," she replied. She handed him the envelope, not aggressively, not theatrically, just with expectation. He read the first page standing in the doorway. His face didn't explode with rage. It drained. Subtle, but unmistakable. My brother stepped closer. "What's going on?" Dad didn't answer. My godmother spoke clearly enough for the room to hear. "As of today, your father no longer holds controlling interest in the company. The transfer has been executed." My sister laughed nervously. "That's not funny." "It isn't," my godmother said. The music inside had stopped. Someone had lowered it. Phones were out, but no one was recording now. I stood slightly behind her, not hiding, just observing. For years, I had been the family liability, the awkward one, the embarrassment, the one instructed to stay out of sight. Now I watched something shift that had nothing to do with emotion. Authority is quiet when it's real. Dad tried to argue process, timing, optics. My godmother responded with clauses, signatures, board confirmations. Every sentence she spoke ended discussion rather than escalating it. There was no screaming, no dramatic exposure, just inevitability. "This is about control," my brother muttered. "No," she corrected gently. "This is about responsibility." She turned to me then. "You don't have to stay." And that was the moment I realized something had changed inside me long before the paperwork. I didn't want to confront them. I didn't want to humiliate them. I didn't even want apologies. I just didn't want to shrink anymore. Dad finally looked at me directly. "You don't understand what this means," he said. I met his eyes without heat. "I understand that you signed." That was all. We left before the cake was cut. In the car, I expected adrenaline, triumph. Something cinematic. Instead, there was quiet, not relief exactly, more like space. At my godmother's house, she showed me the guest room she'd prepared weeks ago, not as a backup, as a plan. On the desk sat a simple envelope. Inside was a birthday card. No grand speech. "Just you were never the problem." I read that line 3 times. The company headlines would change over the next few days. Board statements, structural updates. My father's name stepping back from press releases. People would speculate. My siblings would recalibrate. But none of that felt as significant as this. For the first time, I wasn't waiting to be chosen. I had been dismissed so often I'd mistaken exclusion for identity. Now I understood something sharper. They didn't lose me because I gained power. They lost me because I stopped asking them to see me. 16 didn't feel like a celebration. It felt like a transfer of gravity. I don't hate them. I don't plan revenge. When I turn 18, I'll decide what kind of company it becomes, what kind of leader I am, whether I even keep it. Control isn't loud. It doesn't post photos. It doesn't leave notes on kitchen counters. It signs documents. It answers doorbells. And it walks away without needing to slam the door.